Welcome to the MS&Me Radio Network, a division of the Multiple Sclerosis Global Support Network. The following program broadcast is an original creation by the broadcast entity. Discussion within the following broadcast should be used for informational purposes only and is not a substitute for professional medical advice or consultation. Before considering application of any broadcast content in the following program, please consult your healthcare provider. If you feel you are having a medical emergency, please contact your local health services for immediate assistance. MS&Me Media and the Multiple Sclerosis Global Support Network do not guarantee or warrant the accuracy of information in the broadcast to follow. The Multiple Sclerosis Global Support Network provisions broadcast services to program hosts. Information discussed in the broadcast does not necessarily reflect the views, opinions, or goals of the network and are solely those of the show broadcast host. Should you wish to host a broadcast, please visit our website at msmemedia.com and submit a request to become a program host. We thank you for listening to the MS&Me Radio Network. Enjoy the show.
Hello, everybody. Thank you so much for tuning in with me this week here on MS&Me Radio. My name is Anisha. And first off, let me give a happy Veterans Day to all my fellow veterans out there that have served in the armed forces. Wish you guys a awesome day, which that would be yesterday. Hope you guys had a good one. There's lots of stores, restaurants for the first time. Actually, Target is giving a 10% discount, so if you guys get a chance, make sure you run out there and take advantage of that one. I love me some Target, by the way. I don't call it Target, I call it Target, okay? Gotta give it that fancy twist. Also, another piece of admin stuff. Many apologies to you guys for having to air a rerun last week. As you guys know, I had my second half of Ocrevus, not this Friday, but the Friday before. Had to do a lot of moving and shaking and getting some things done. After that, still same thing. I'm just really tired, really cold, and again, tired is my key thing with this one. Outside of that, everything is going really well. I had someone actually ask me a very great question, and that was, how would I rate the medication so far? And honestly, on a scale from 0 to 10, with dealing with side effects and things of that nature, if I had to compare it to the 3 other meds that I've been on with Ocrevus, honestly, I'd have to give it a 10. I can deal with the tired, which we deal with tired, all the time anyway when you're dealing with chronic illnesses. So I honestly would have to give it a 10, believe it or not. Not that we ever want to have to rate things like this, because we definitely want a cure for this stuff. But so far, Ocrevus has been very good to me. Okay, it's been very good. And I want you guys to know that, because again, so many times we hear everything that's negative, and we'll kind of want to hook our horns into that. And I definitely want to make sure to let you guys know that some things are bad for some people, and some of the side effects that you read about, that percentage of people that it happened to when it's in research could be like a 0.1% or 1 in so many thousands, and they happen to be that unlucky person. For me, it's just those, 2 things, and that's tired and cold, okay? And very, very tired. But, chronic fatigue syndrome and Sjogren's, lupus, mixed connective tissue disorder, this other stuff I got going on too with the colon, everything else. Those things can bring about tired too. So if that's all I got to deal with, I'll take it. All right. So this week, what I want to talk to you guys about is chronic illnesses and the holidays. Okay. As you guys know, if you've been into any stores lately, it seems like we jump from Halloween straight into Christmas. The Christmas trees are already up everywhere. Santa's face is all over the place, and Halloween stuff is marked to about 70% off. I saw when I had to run into Walgreens to pick up some medication. And I thought that was pretty cool. But right on the other side of it was all this stuff for Christmas. So I thought, hey, what about Thanksgiving? So with that being said, I do want to touch base this week on living with chronic illnesses and the holidays. I do know, I'm very well aware, I'm not afraid to talk about it. The holidays can bring about depression for many people, especially when you are living with chronic illness, okay? I personally, my brother was killed, I want to say it's 31 years ago. It was back in 1986. He was killed on November 21st. When he was buried, it was the day before Thanksgiving, okay? So I have never been one after that. Thanksgiving always tends to make me sad, you know? That's just something that gets ingrained in your mind. My brother, Ronnie Joe Partee, was an amazing young guy. Absolutely amazing. I'm telling you, he had a smile that would just light up any room, that mischievous laugh, you know. If you didn't even want to smile, if you felt like you were in the worst mood, he was one that could just make you laugh, you know. Just a great human being. He honestly was. And at 16 years old, his life was cut short by a drunk driver, okay. So I live with that, you know. I live with that, and I get depressed a bit every year just thinking about that alone. Even if I am not, you know, consciously thinking about it, subconsciously I'll go there, you know. And then you throw on top of this with being sick, it just brings about a little bit of a little darkness a bit, you know, to this time of year. So with the chronic illness end of it, I know for a lot of us, we're already thinking about, okay, well, we can't do those things that we used to do, like cooking those great big meals and, you know, eating or spending it with family if we live, you know, far away from home, you know, things of that nature, or even not knowing how we're going to feel, you know, if we're going to feel good enough to be able to prior plan to go out of town, to go home to visit family, or, you know, things of that nature. And that alone can be very depressing leading up to the holiday season, okay? Now, there's really not much, you know, with the psyche that we can really do about that, other than try our best to not get too spun up about it and almost give ourselves that self-fulfilling prophecy, okay? And that is where if you keep thinking negative, it's gonna be negative, you know? That's about the only thing we can do, is just pray and hope for the best, you know, and try our best not to do that crash and burn theory, you know, where we're like, this year's gonna be epic, I'm gonna cook 1,000 things, and you know, you're in that kitchen, you know, slaving and cooking so much, and the next thing you know, you're so tired you can't even eat, and then you're in the bed for a week after because you absolutely did way too much, and you end up not even being able to enjoy, you know, the company that you have, your family, and all of that, because you just literally sent your body into overload and you've crashed and burned, okay? Now, think about it. There's many restaurants or establishments that are still open for Thanksgiving, okay? So you can always go that non-traditional route. There's a lot of places like Honey Baked Ham or whatever. You can, you know, pre-order that meal and just heat it up, or, you know, things of that nature. That's one thing that, you know, we used to do, and it, you know, helped me out a whole lot, you know, when I became unable to be able to do all of those things, you know, that really just lifts a big load off, okay? So what I want you guys to know is that there is a way around. It's just a matter of thinking about it, you know? If it is too that you've got that family close, and then you decide, you know what, let's kind of team up and you're going to cook this and you're going to cook that, and you guys kind of all come together and people decide what they're going to cook, and it's not just all left on one person. Because let's be real, the financial strains that comes with knowing that one is disabled, and things of that nature, and thinking about the holiday season, and that's to include, Thanksgiving and Christmas and the isolation that one feels with it. The holiday season for so many people can just be a depressing time, okay? Now, with that being said, many shows back, as I tell people, hunt the good stuff, okay? Hunt the good stuff. Try to make it positive, all right? When you want to go negative, replace that negative thought with something positive. By all means, am I saying, kind of play Disney here and, not act like, no, I'm not saying that, because you have to be real with yourself in order to, you do have to sometimes acknowledge the bad in order to change the self-talk, okay, that you're having with yourself, okay? Like, I can't do this, the holidays suck, Just say, you know what? I'm going to have a different way that I do this because I do want this year to be good, okay? Think about it that way. Now, also, think so much. Please think a lot about the crash and burn theory, okay? Because that theory is so true. If you do too much, if you say, I'm having a great day, and that great day is 3 days before Thanksgiving, and you decide that you're going to bake 25 sweet potato pies. Yes, I do prefer sweet potato over pumpkin, but I will take pumpkin, okay? Just make sure I got some Cool Whip. You're going to bake some cakes and cookies and all that good stuff and some dressing, because a lot of people say stuffing, okay? You can't come at me with some stuffing, but you tell me you got some dressing, I'm there, okay? I'm there. And think about it. How many of you guys are like dressing? Us Southerners, we call it dressing. And I think the Northerners say stuffing. But anyhow, either way, it's still good. It's tomato, right? But you're doing all this stuff and you're cooking all this stuff. Pace yourself. That's what's important, is to pace yourself. Don't be afraid to ask for help. I know that's one thing with us when we are sick, is that our independence is so important to us that we do not want to ask anyone for help. And boy, the queen of doing that is right here holding up her hand talking to you. That is me. I am the queen of not wanting to ask anyone for help because I don't know why. That's stinking thinking that I have, okay? That is some of my stinking thinking. I'm afraid to ask anyone for help. Okay, but I'm telling you guys, don't be, because anytime that I do ask someone for help, they are more than happy to help me. Okay, and I really appreciate that. And some of my friends will actually help me without me asking, because they know that in my still wanting to be independent, that it stops me, it prevents me from asking, okay? So with that being said, they will just, come on and help me out, okay? So I want you guys to think about that. Don't be afraid to ask for help, because people don't know, and they feel like they don't want to step on your toes, or they don't want to offend you, So you're both kind of thinking down the same alleyway. Like, I don't want to offend. I don't want to, and then you're thinking too, well, I don't want to offend them by asking them, because they're going to feel like I just want them around because I want them to do this for me. So you're both kind of on the same wavelength, okay? Guys, please take it from me. Take it from the queen of not wanting to ask anybody for anything. Don't be afraid to ask for help. This world is big. We all would not be in this world together if we were not meant to help each other. Okay? That is at least my thought and my philosophy on it. Okay? Now, with the, like I said too, with the holidays, the financial burdens, I know it's tough for people that, just solely live on disability, thinking about how they're going to do that, and be able to buy Christmas gifts and things like that. Y'all, I have a friend that's great with couponing and stuff like that, and don't be afraid to reach out and find out which coupon groups are good, or don't be afraid to get that Sunday paper. The Black Friday shopping is going to be coming up, and boy, that stuff can be. It's been years since I did it. In fact, I think the last time I did, I was stationed in Hawaii, and it was absolutely amazing because the weather there was great. I didn't have a lot of hiccups when I lived there. So we got up early that morning at like, I think 4, and we all met up, and we went Black Friday shopping all around Honolulu, and it was amazing. It really was. And because we were like the first ones there at a couple of the stores, we were able to get like a gift card and stuff like that. It was really cool. But again, living with chronic illnesses, a lot of times that's difficult, for us to be able to do now. But keep in mind that there's going to be that Cyber Monday, where they're going to have deals and stuff like that, So there's always going to be another way. Don't hang yourself or hang your hat on the fact of, I can't go Black Friday shopping, so this is just the worst. It's the absolute worst. There's always going to be another way. Please remember that, because I know how depressing that it can be, because as each year kind of goes by and you're maybe getting a little settled into the debilitation that's happening, and different things have changed, your mobility is different, things of that nature, that right there will bring you down alone. Okay. But please know that it's okay to phone a friend. Okay. It's okay to reach out. It's okay to talk to somebody about it. It's okay to have that friend that is going Black Friday shopping, and perhaps you can link up with them and tell them, hey, you know what? I saw in this paper and I really wanted to get this right here. If I give you the money, can you get this for me? I bet you they would be more than happy to do that for you, because they understand that you are unable to do it. Okay? Just don't be afraid to reach out and ask for help. Okay, because by all means, what is very important, because the holiday time, domestic violence, that rate goes up during the holidays, believe it or not. That's one of the times that it goes up. Also, suicide rates sometimes tend to climb during that time. And that's something that we don't want. With families, it can be a struggle, and hey, for all this stuff, Jesus is the reason for the season, and let's not take away from that, and because believe it or not, with kids and stuff like that, you'd be surprised, man, that they just like the food. My kids, like, there's a video that where me and my daughter were playing around, and she's all, Thanksgiving means food, and just talking about all the things, all the food she loves, because that year we were gonna go home and visit my mom, and it's just going on about all the food that my mom cooks and stuff like that, because I'm here to tell you that woman can burn, and I don't mean burn up food. I'm talking she can cook, she can put her foot in it. Okay, so just remember that, guys. Sometimes it's not about, we put more pressure on ourselves on the financial end of things than what our children necessarily even are thinking, so just remember that. Please don't stress yourself out, okay? Because MS is one of those diseases, and fibromyalgia, there's many other diseases that go right along with this that are chronic, that if you get yourself spun up and get yourself you're just going to get even more sick. And that is not what you need. That's not what your family wants for you. That's not what your kids want for you. Okay. It's just, that's just not it. I do like to think that I've been a good girl this year, and I hope that Santa comes and visits me as well. But I don't know, by some of the memes that I post on my personal page, I don't know that Santa's gonna come and visit me, and I'm all right with that. Because what gets me through this is humor, so I might just get a lump of coal, and that's okay. That's all right. For me, it's more about just spending time with people, being able to laugh and look at the old times and things like that, and reflection. For me, reflection to those times when I was little, and my brother and my sister Tammy, they were still alive, and being kids, and getting that first Atari, and all that type of stuff. I spent a lot of time reflecting, to when I didn't have this stuff, when life was good, when not that life is bad now, but it's when life was good. And it just really is a reflective time for me. And though I may be a little down, because I miss my brother, I miss my sister, but at the same time it warms my heart, because they are still here, they're with me, they are in my heart, and I give thanks, to them for the fact that they were on this earth, and they are in my heart, and they're in a much better place, than down here with all the madness that's going on. So it's just about giving thanks for all things, big or small. That's really what it's about. And more so, giving, I don't know, I think we just get hung up, and we make everything so commercialized nowadays, instead of the true reason for these seasons. It's just about not being so commercialized. That's really where it's at. And thank God there's no commercial for this new medicine that I'm on, because telling you, boy, that sucker's expensive. But y'all, that's seriously what's majorly important, is remembering the reason for the season. Okay. And it's about giving thanks, because if you really sit and think about the things that you are thankful for, most of them will not cost you money. Maybe the roof over your head, could be the car that you drive, and I don't care if it's a 72 Pinto, that car that you drive that gets you from A to B. You're thankful for that. You're thankful for your friends, your family, things of that nature. When you really, really think about it, those things that you are thankful for that mean the most to you, they don't cost you money. Okay, they absolutely don't. And just know that it is okay to ask for help. It is okay. And also, if you do feel yourself heading towards that crash and burn, just stop. Just stop. Remember to rest. Remember to make sure that you eat, that you're taking your medicine, on time. Okay. It's important that you give your body, everything that you need to do, and you're taking good sleep hygiene. You're taking care of that, because you want to be able to talk and laugh and share good memories, and get full and take a nap like Al Bundy, with your hand a little bit there at the waist of your pants, and watch a little football, get up, eat again, laugh, go back to sleep. Those are all those good things that you want to be able to do. It's about making memories. It really is. And depression is part of it, and it can happen, but know that there are ways to combat it. And a lot of times it is just truly looking at things for what they are, and remembering the reason for the seasons, okay? Truly, truly. And, being thankful for, because things could always be worse. It could always be worse, okay? Just remember that. When we think of, even when I think I have it bad, I'm like, boy, no, no, I don't, because there's always, somebody that has it worse, and I'm thankful for all that I have, and I'm also thankful for all that I don't. And I'm sure that, to hear someone say it, you guys probably think that exact same way, but sometimes it's a little bit easy to just kind of get caught up, and it hurts, it does. It honestly, it hurts, but that's okay, because after the rain, there's always sunshine. Always remember that. After every rain, there is sunshine. After dark, there's always light. Okay? Nothing in life bad, it doesn't last forever. The only bad thing that lasts forever is paying taxes, right? Giving Uncle Sam part of your money, That's the only thing that, lasts up until, we leave this earth, Everything else is pretty much just the way it is, And it's very important, you guys, that even starting to go into the holidays like we are now, that's why I'm talking about it, is because some people already start to get depressed, okay? Go ahead, guys. Start, calling, reaching out to your friends and, seeing what their plans are. Go ahead and start reaching out to your kiddos and, see what's going on with them. And, maybe you guys can, your kids may be feeling like, well, I don't know, I don't want to, be a bother, that kind of thing. It could just be a kink in the communication that you guys could get worked out, okay? Because it's very important that, communication is key, in all things. In all things, communication is key. Now, guys, I love y'all. I love y'all so, so much. And I've got a friend that I want y'all to pray for. And I ask you all to pray. She's a very, very beautiful woman. Very beautiful woman. She means a whole lot to me. Means a whole lot to my kids. I'm talking, when my daughter was a senior, we'd had one set of senior pictures made. And mind you, she's one of my co-workers. And she's like, hey, Nee. She calls me Nee. She's like, I'll take her pictures, Nee. I'll take them. Don't worry about it. My photographer. Beautiful work. She's going through a battle right now that for everybody out there that believes in prayer, I ask you to pray for this woman. And her name is Amy. I want y'all to pray for her because she occupies a big old space in my heart, and she is really going through a battle, and she's surrounded by love and nothing but from her family and her friends. But where more than one is gathered and speaking her name, that's where the Lord is at. So please, I ask you all to pray for her, okay? And Amy, if you're listening, I love you, baby girl. You got this, From my room to yours, baby, I'm praying for you. All right? And I thank you guys so much for joining in with me this week here on MS&Me Radio. A big thanks again to the Multiple Sclerosis Global Support Network. My name is Anisha. I look forward to talking to you guys next week. Love you so much.